So for those of you who don't know, DreamHack Atlanta is happening this weekend, November 18th through the 20th, and it is going to have StarCraft 2, of course, and it's going to be one of the last StarCraft 2 tournaments of the year, leading up to that EPT Global Finals at Katowice. So I wanted to give 5 good reasons to go ahead and tune in Friday through Sunday, so let's go. Number 1. We have Rainer and Dark both not attending. So the defending champion, Valencia's winner, Dark, is not able to go to Atlanta to defend his DreamHack crown, which might open the door for instance, Maru to actually win this one since he got so close at Valencia. Rainer is also not attending due to some family obligations, so that is another top tier Zerg not looking to go to DreamHack Atlanta. But those missing Zerg, will this be the first 2022 event not won by a Zerg player? Editing magic here to actually clarify and really specify that no global event non-GSL has been won by a non-Zerg. So being very specific, GSL has been won by a non-Zerg, but all of the global events, otherwise, all Zerg. Rainer, Dark, and Serral so far. Okay, fixed. That's right, all of them have been won by Zerg so far. But, caveat, Serral is finally attending a DreamHack. So Serral did not attend Valencia due to some reasons he didn't really elaborate on, but this is absolutely going to be an event that he goes to and is looking quite strong going into it, actually getting into that qualification spot through the regionals. So will he go ahead and make up for the other top tier Zerg that are not attending, or is this actually the first event in 2022 won by a non-Zerg? Number 2. Valencia was top 8 50-50 foreigner and Koreans. That is non-Koreans and Koreans for those not in the StarCraft 2 lingo. Now, the Koreans won all 4 of the round of 4 seats, which made it look like a very dominant tournament for the Koreans, which, you know, at the end of the day, that's exactly what it says. However, the non-Koreans got really close messing that up. Absolutely possible we could have had top 4 be all non-Korean, but that's not the way it went. So now Valencia, top 4 Korea. Atlanta, it's going to be a bit of the revenge of the non-Koreans, or at least some people will hope so. This is the first North American event for StarCraft in 3 years. DreamHack Montreal 2019 was the last North American event, thanks to COVID and just in general not getting around to it until now. So reasons to be hype. It'll be a bit better for the North American viewing audience as well as have that North American crowd energy. Number 4, so we have North Americans being able to play on their home turf. North Americans have actually been rising a little bit in terms of global standings, global respect in the StarCraft 2 scene. So this might be the biggest opportunity yet for North Americas, at least for some time, since Neeb was really dominating, I suppose, back in 2017. So let's start with him. Neeb, back in shape, perhaps even in his best form, if school hasn't gotten too much in the way. He was top 8 in Valencia, and he was very, very close to getting top 4 and being one of the few foreigners to actually beat out that, again, top 4 Korean narrative that we did have. But he was a little bit short. But it's North America home turf, and he has been looking better and better, and a very good performance yet again in his regional. Estrella is the second North American that I'm going to focus on. He got top 3 Home Strike Cup 21. He was top 16 in Valencia, and in that top 16, the person that he lost to was Dark. So that's going to be the person that eventually won Valencia, which gives a lot of credit to Estrella getting as far as he did. Perhaps had he not met Dark, he would have gone that much farther, continuing to add a North American player to the top 8, which is already great. Having 2 North American players in that section of the bracket doesn't happen too often. So I think Estrella has a lot of promise. He's obviously in good form, as he did beat out Scarlet to actually get that second regional qualification spot to put him into the top side, further along part of the bracket, that is. So he's looking particularly good as well going into DreamHack Atlanta. Another North American player with a lot of promise is Trigger. He basically came out of the gate strong back in 2020 without having played too much of StarCraft, especially in comparison to a lot of our other professional players. Actually quite new to GM, and then just skyrocketed up to being able to compete with a lot of the top North American pros, and now is certainly in conversation for top 4 North America pretty concretely, or maybe even top 3. Not for this regional, but perhaps for future ones. Nonetheless, looking very, very strong. Another strong presence for North America at a North American tournament. He also recently dominated the Psystorm Cup number 9, which is full of a lot of promising North American hopefuls, and he just absolutely dominated, undefeated or close to it. So he is going into Atlanta probably at his strongest. Of course, I can't talk about North American players without bringing up Scarlett. She might not be having her best year yet, actually not able to get the regional qualification spot at his top 2 in North America, and even Estrella took those instead. But I think that you just have to talk about her as that promising North American player. She did make round of 16 in Valencia, losing to Creator, who had one of his best tournaments, international land. So it is going to be an issue, I suppose, of Scarlett just actually showing up. We know that she can sometimes have kind of meh performances, again, those regionals kind of pointing to that, but we also know that she can basically just pop off, arrive, and actually dominate. So always keep an eye on Scarlett, but there you have it, 4 very hopeful North American players playing on home turf North America. And the 5th and final reason to watch Atlanta and be very interested in its results is that it is the second to last EPT point collection tournament. So that might sound a little bit weird, like, well, okay, it's not the biggest deal. It is quite a big deal because it is still the one with the most amount of points on the line. The next tournament that has EPT points is going to be Home Story Cup in December, but that is far, far less points on the line for that one. To give you a for instance on that, we have 2,540 points for Home Story Cup 22 versus 10,840 points for DreamHack Atlanta. That means that top 8 Home Story Cup equals 110 points, but top 32 in Atlanta means 120. So you have to advance much farther in Home Story Cup to even get, you know, a glimmer of EPT points. I believe the winner of Home Story Cup gets 500, whereas the winner of Atlanta gets 1,500. So the points are just very, very different. Home Story Cup can absolutely be the tournament to watch out for when it comes to those very, very close races. But if you're looking to get as many points as possible in one good weekend, well, obviously Atlanta is what you're going to be looking at. So a lot of players are absolutely going to be paying attention to that, as well as paying attention to all the other players and, you know, starting to actually crunch the numbers, as they say. So we'll certainly be doing that on the desk as well. But that means that this could determine many people's presence at IEM Katowice for the Global Championships if they have a particularly good run in DreamHack Atlanta. So there was 5 reasons to watch DreamHack Atlanta. Do we have a non-Zerg victor with a couple of the strong Zergs not appearing? Do we have the Foreigner's Revenge from Valencia, where they are knocked out just shy of that top 4? It's the first North American event in 3 years, thanks to COVID, and hopefully we have a lot of that NA crowd energy. It's a great opportunity for North American players because it is the home turf, but also having some of, if not a lot of the most promising North American players at their most promising state, and it is the second to last EPT point collection as we get closer to the end of the year. February is when IEM Katowice happens, so it's not too much longer until then. So hopefully that enticed some of you who are a little bit on the fence. Hopefully it got people excited who were already excited, and now even more excited, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. So let me know what you guys are excited about for Atlanta down in the comments, and I will see you guys for another video soon. Bye-bye.